Hey, Tony Gaskins here. As you can tell, I'm in a hotel. It's an old school hotel in Lawrence, Kansas, I think. I'm in Kansas. So y'all got to forgive me. But wanted to pop in, got a little break until we get going here today. Well, the team, they watching film and stuff, but I came in to speak to a sports team last night, so on the road. And somebody asked me to do a review of the show on Netflix, which I'm gonna watch it, called something about Tinder. Can't remember the name now. The Tinder Swindler. So I'm gonna watch that. So, hey, Netflix, send me a check. Hate to be promoting people's stuff that ain't got nothing to do with me, but I'm gonna watch that when I get some time, because it's like 2 hours long, and then I'll come on here and talk about it. And we'll go through that. But got this letter on Talks with Tony. Now y'all got to realize I'm out my element now, so I can't be as loud and all of that. Cause hotels, the walls be paper thin, and it's some of the team next to me. So if they finish doing what they doing, they get in there, they be like, "What Tony got going on over there, talking to himself?" Blessing to you and your beautiful black family, Mr. Gaskins. I would first like to start off by saying that your dutifulness to your purpose, charisma, and intellect is truly an appreciative blessing that you bestow to us, your supporters daily. Thank you so much for all that you do. Now, on to my story. Now, the title of this is I Don't Want to Play with God. Now, on to my story. It was mid-2020, and the health crisis was very confining to me at my job at the time. Everywhere I went, the loud words, 6 feet, rang in my eardrums. It was a new kind of normal I, as well as the rest of the world, was getting accustomed to. On a particular gloomy day, where yesterday's clear skies were now bathed in what looked to be a gray smoke, a conversation started between myself and a young security guard. "How's it going?" he says to me, as I'm lost watching the impending rainstorm about to descend outside the glass doors. I turn to face him slightly. "It's going," I say. "That's all I can wish for," I add with a smile. He then smiles. That seemed to be the opening he was looking for. For the next 5 minutes, as the sound of thunder fills the sky, myself and this man, who I call Michael, start off a simple enough conversation that quickly goes into our beliefs. For a little more clarity, I would say that the way I think is a little out of the box. I seldom can have conversations with people without them thinking that I am this crazy conspiracy theorist. But with Michael, I quickly found out that we share the same ideologies. We continue to converse. I find myself subconsciously becoming more open about my beliefs. Amazing how comfortable a person you connect with on a deeper level can vulnerable, unrestrained. I read what she said. I know it's a word in there missing. The conversation was so good that at one point he came to stand in front of me because our masks were making it difficult to hear one another. Before he had come to stand in front of me, he had already had his mask pushed under his mouth to further communicate with me clearly. But we were still quite a far distance away from each other, hence him coming to stand closer to my line of vision. The first thing I thought of when he was closer to my line of sight was, he looks very familiar. I ended up thinking this because he resembled a very distant family member, but nonetheless, our conversation continued. I found out how old he was, which town he lived in, and what school he went to. Bits and pieces about his family and so on. I was so engulfed in what seemed like a fairy tale conversation with him that when he answered the questions, "So do you have kids?" "Are you married?" His answer seemed to simultaneously come with the Undertaker theme song, the funeral tolling of bells, as well as the skidding and inevitable crash and burn of an out-of-control car echo as I repeated his answer. 3. "Wow, you look so young." "Yeah, I had them young." "Are they with the same woman?" "Yes, they are." got right on to it. Then you pull no punches. Do you think you'll get married? I mean, I would like to, but I don't know. He then proceeds to tell me that the mother of his children likes to party and currently they are broken up. He also mentions that he had all the fun in the world when he was younger, and being that he is 29, we are the exact same age, he has ran out of juice for the partying lifestyle. He said to me, for me, staying home on a Friday night is where it's at. For me, staying home on a Friday night is where it's at. The mother of his 3 children, on the other hand, still has that clubbing spirit running through her veins and shows no sign of stopping anytime soon, per his words. So, yeah. Once our conversation had ended, he asked for my phone number. Now, she wrote that, so, yeah. Y'all got to just deal with this here amazing reading and just the way stuff get read. It's just sometimes you'll think it's me and it's the letter. So y'all just hold yourself. Nah, this person here, she come in, she want to write. You know what I mean? She want to show her writing skills. Listen, I told y'all, if y'all in the Birth Your Book class, I sent an email out that if you want to be a blogger, if you want to consider blogging, just send us an email now. Might have something for you coming up. Once our conversation had ended, he asked for my phone number. Me, in my mind, I mean, sure, why not? I mean, you both work at the same place and seem to have a lot in common. I mean, you can be friends with him. Pause, nervous laugh. Me, a year later? Yeah, no. See, what had happened was, LOL, is I found out the more I talked to Michael, the more we started having what I can only describe as non-sexual mind sex. My attraction for him grew by those long night phone calls. I should have known better, but in all honesty, I knew I couldn't be with Michael. I mean, yes, he wasn't with the mother of his children, and yes, we had an amazing conversation, but the best I have ever had with someone regardless of gender. But at the same time, a young 29-year-old man with kids that were not far off from high school and college. Child, that's a lot. But Tony, had this man not had kids or had not been in a relationship, we would have definitely been in a relationship. Also, possible high chance of marriage. And I know, a lot of what ifs, but the emotional connection was so strong. It almost felt like an unspoken, I'm yours, you're mine. Even writing those words down hits me different a year later. I ended things, said to make things work with the mother of his children. He said, okay, I don't know what the future holds for Michael and the mother of his children. On one hand, maybe they have grown apart. On the other hand, their business is not my business. Michael and I were just talking, but we did develop feelings for each other. Sometimes I think, oh, scrunched face. Was this my husband? Was this God? I know I might get an eye roll from you, Tony, but I can't help but wonder, was this man a blessing to me? 3 kids and all. Skepticism, shoulder shrug. So here's my question, Tony. I have Michael set as my standard, just him as a standalone person. Like I said before, if he was single with no kids, I would no doubt know this is my husband. I titled this email, I don't want to play with God, because I don't want to set this man as my standard, meaning he set the bar for me in terms of how well we connected. That could hinder the blessing God has for me because my husband could be nothing like Michael. I don't want my standard to offset God's blessing. I mean, can you imagine me? Hi, God. God. Michelle. Let's use that as my name. Me. Yeah, God. About my stand, God. Side eye. You mean the standard you set by you, for you, that I had no hand in? Me. Well, see, God. I answer the question, Michelle. Me. Head down. Yes, God. God. Funny you want to set standards, but somehow the setup for that business you wanted to start 2 years ago is looking pretty raggedy over there. Me. God. God, let me tell you who I am, Michelle. I am an awesome God, which is why I've had your husband walk past you on 4 separate occasions over the last 3 weeks. I am a merciful God, which is why I didn't send a Michael 2.0 to you again. And by the way, he was always with his baby mother. Me, God, my God. I'm so God. And another thing, next time you want to interfere in my work, remember my words. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good works, which God, me, hath beforehand ordained that we should walk in them. I've done the work. I've laid the foundation. You don't have to lay anything on the foundation. Trust in me and receive what I set forth for you. And another thing, what made you think I wanted rogue followers? Back to present day. So you see, Tony, even though I felt a strong connection with this man, God could be sending me someone completely different. Should I be open to should I be open to that wholeheartedly? Or can I trust God, trust the process, and still have my standard set by Michael in the areas he set them in as a guide moving forward? Let me move my phone because I can't see. Okay, that's the end of the email. Thank you for taking out the time of your busy schedule to read my letter. Have a blessed day. Y'all forgive me, I'm using my computer as my little holder. I ain't got no tripod. All right, let's give a round of applause for Michelle. That's her fake name. That ain't her real name. For that play she just put on for us. It had me reading the monologue. Listen now, y'all don't send me no monologues. I'm sitting over here like I'm in drama class. Me, God, listen, Michelle. I'm like, hold on, you got me in drama class. Come on now. So listen, I don't read these before I get on camera. Y'all forgive me. I apologize that she asked the question and kind of answered the question, and she had to play in there. Now, that business you wanted to start, Michelle, that's her fake name, might need to be in drama. You might need to be a screenwriter. What you might need to be focusing on. And you and Michael might be your first play or your first movie, but very well written. Sister here love to write. Hopefully you journaling or blogging or something. So in this single season, like you say, I tell you like what God told you. Focus on you. Focus on the work you're supposed to be doing. Focus on what you got to get going out here. And don't worry about the man. And let me help y'all understand something about men. The way we are as men is if we're lacking something, we seek and we crave and command and we create what we're lacking. So a man is very good at being a mirror. And humans can do this. Some women can do it if they have a lot of masculine energy. But a lot of women can't really fake it. So like how Michelle, fake name, said, do you have kids? And then, are they by the same woman? That is a very intrusive question. For the first time you're meeting somebody, that's a very intrusive question. So she literally put him on the witness stand. Do you have kids? Are they by the same woman? Are you married? Do you want to be married? It's like, whoa, calm down, Michelle. Hey, we just walking past each other. And before I go, what is your social security number? Because I need to go with you. And what's your middle name? And it's like, calm down, Michelle. So a man knows how to mirror. A man knows how to be a mirror because of what he wants in his life, what he's looking for in his life. And so what you have to realize is that you can't read into the energy a man is giving you when you know somebody else is in his life or could be in his life. And it's like the way a relationship is when a relationship gets comfortable, or when you've been with somebody for a long time. So when you've been with somebody and you got 3 kids, y'all more like roommates. Like a man literally could be living with his woman and use a room as a man cave, and the woman has just been with him so long, she gets in the bed and go to bed at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and that man could be up in his man cave talking to another woman without interruption. Like, if I wanted to cheat, I could cheat so easy. I could have a whole nother family because me and my wife been together 15 years. And that's what a lot of women don't understand. It's like, me and my wife, it ain't like this high school checking phones and questioning and following. Like, I'm out here doing my thing. I'm working, but I could have a woman in the room right now. My wife's not calling me. She has not called me all day. It's 11 a.m. It's noon that time. She has texted me about our youngest son game and now the oldest son game, but she haven't called me. She ain't FaceTime me. So I literally could have a woman sitting in here right now behind me. I could have got on, Tinder or Bumble or, Offender or Dumble and met somebody, whatever, how y'all be swiping. Oh yeah, let's meet up for breakfast. Took my ring off and my wife would have never known. So that's what I want women to understand, that it is extremely easy for a man to cheat. And that when you meet a man, you can't assume like, whoa, this conversation is amazing. Because a man will be an atheist and pretend to be a devout Christian just to get close to a woman, just to have somebody to talk to, just to get in some draws. A man could be a devout Christian and pretend to be an atheist just to get close to a woman, to see if he can convert her. So you got to understand that as men, we know how to mirror. We know how to play a role until we get the lead. We know how to play that role till we get, the big pay. And so, okay, little bookstore right there. And so that's what you got to understand. So all of this right here, what happened with Michael, could have all been fake. And it was fake. And so and that's the thing where when you let a man set a standard, you can never let a man set a standard, because 9 out of 10 times you're dealing with a man's representative and not the man. So you could never let a man set a standard for you. And so you got to understand that and realize that when you meet a man, you really don't know a man until year 2. You really don't know a man until year 2. Month 13 is when you're going to start to see the real start to surface. Month 13. So you got to understand that. And, be real with yourself about it. And so when you take and you look and you say, okay, who is this guy? As a man, we're going to suppress everything that we are. We're going to hide the crazy. We're going to hide the controlling. We're going to hide the insecurity. We're going to have them deep conversations, because men need somebody. Men need somebody way more than a woman needs somebody. Like, women are so successful as singles, and men on average suck as singles. If a man is great being single, he's a top 1% man. Most men suck at being single. And so when a man's heart is hurting, because if it's true his baby mama is a clubber and she like to party, which could be a lie. Men, we quick to throw a woman under the bus when we looking for a little fun, we looking for a little flirtation, and you could make him feel like he still got it. Like a man with 3 kids is over the hump, he over the hill, because he didn't spread his seed so much. It's like you got 3 kids. So when a woman meets you, he ain't necessarily gonna feel special to her. Yeah, he could fall in love, he could get married, but it's not like the initial special feeling. And women say, is it the same for women? Yes, it's the same for women. It don't mean that you can't find love. It don't mean that you're not worthy. It doesn't mean that you can't be happy. It just, that initial first child is something that cannot be replaced. And so we just got to be okay with that. Like, hey, okay, I've lived life. I've seen some things. I've experienced some things. Okay, it is what it is. So if he get out there, he's not going to be a prize to any woman unless they desperate. He could be a husband, but he's not going to be a prize. And so you definitely should not make him the standard. You shouldn't make him the standard because you don't really know him. You don't really know him. And so now, because he was okay with your conspiracy theories, because he was okay with your interesting conversation, and I could tell by how you wrote your email that you are a very unique person. Out of the thousands of emails that I've read, there's never been a monologue in an email. There's never been a monologue of someone having a conversation with themselves, between them and God. So that let me know that your personality is deep, that you're very nuanced, that you're a very unique person. And so I guarantee you he picked that up in the first 2 minutes of talking to you. Just even in your response to him, even in the first 2 things, it's going. That's all I could wish for. Most women won't even say that. And most women won't even be that clever with it. It's, how's it going? It's going. That's all I could wish for. With a smile. And then he smiled. That right there already puts you in 10% of responses that he get is in that vein. So immediately he know, okay, this woman is unique. Some could say quirky. Some could say different. Some could say awkward, just depending on the person's vocabulary, how they'll define you. But I would say different. I would say unique. And so that lets him know, okay, I got to flip that switch. I got the cold switch. I got to play this little game. I got to be a little different, And when I say weird, I don't say weird in a negative connotation, just meaning out of the norm. And so he gonna switch, and he said, okay, let me put this side of me on. And then y'all having these deep conversations. The thing that men enjoy is men love meeting a new person, hearing a new laugh, hearing a new thought process. Men very inquisitive. That's why men like to dig and hunt and search and explore the world. That's why it was men who went and got on boats and risked their lives. A lot of men died trying to explore new territory. So men love to explore. Men love to meet. Men love variety. That's why when we can afford it, we'll have 10 cars. It's guys who can afford it, they got 100 cars. 100 cars probably makes sense to like 2 women in America. 100 cars probably makes sense to like 2 women. You probably could find a handful of women that having 100 cars makes sense. But them 100 cars, if it can be afforded, will make sense to like 80, 90% of men. The only men, it'll even make sense to the men who follow financial experts. It may be gotta buy cash and can't go into debt. But that's how men are. Men, we love variety. Same thing with 100 watches or 100 cars. You look at guys who can afford it, and who they like shoes. It's an NBA player. He say he got like 3,000 pair of shoes. Like got a whole, basically room, whole big old bedroom set up with just shoes. And so men love variety. So when you meet a man, you can't ever get too excited. You can't ever jump the gun. You got to tell yourself for like the first 6 months, this is nothing, this is nothing, this is nothing, this is nothing. For like the first 6 months, you got to tell yourself, this means nothing, this means nothing, this means nothing. You be engaged, you have a conversation, you laugh, you play, you joke, you go out on, but you have to bring yourself back down when you get home. This means nothing. This means nothing. This month 13 is when you can start to really kind of say, okay, maybe I have something here. And so that's also why when you told him, I'm gonna break this off, work things out with the mother of your child, you wanted him to say, actually, we're completely done. I don't really want to talk to her other than co-parenting. I'm looking for something new. I'm looking for something different. He said, okay. The reason why he said, okay, is because you gave him an out. And it could be one of a few reasons. One could be he had gotten to know you enough and realized you're not the person for him, but he didn't know how to cut you off because you're so interesting and intriguing and the conversations was fun. That could be one reason. Two, it could be he actually is with her, like they actually in a relationship. And then three and last would be just being respectful to you, and you know, his respect and a piece of his ego saying, I'm not gonna beg, I'm not gonna chase. From the videos he watch on YouTube. So it's one of those three reasons, but most likely I believe it is because he is with her and he knows that if he would have kept talking to you, eventually this was gonna blow up in his face and it was gonna hurt you really bad, and he don't feel like you deserve that kind of hurt. So being that you want to exit stage left, he's gonna let you go instead of lying to you and misleading you and dragging you along and then hurting you really bad. Because if it was he really likes you, and that's why it's kind of could be number one too, like he has seen enough, got to know you enough and realize y'all not really a fit. You fit with his representative, but not really with him at the core. Because if he really, really liked you, a man don't have a problem leaving a woman for an upgrade, especially if the woman he's with is living a lifestyle he doesn't condone of. A man don't have a problem swapping out, transitioning from one to the next. So you got to understand and realize that too. So hey, that was you know, interesting letter. And you know, I try to make something, get a lesson out of everything. Not all these letters are gonna be the same, but I try to get something out of everything. So hopefully the overall message that the ladies can walk away with is you can't, even with men, believe what you see. With men, it have to be consistency. It gotta be patterns. That's what you hold on to. That's what you pay attention with men is, who is he in month 13? Who is he in month 24? Who is he in month 36? That's who he is. The first 12 months, you really can't take it all that serious unless he's still the same, he's still consistent. So listen, if you got a question, send it to inbox@tonygaskins.com, INBOX, inbox@tonygaskins.com. If you have a question, we have some more new ones that came in. I just don't have all that kind of time today because I know people about to be coming back to their room. And if I know the people, I don't like talking because, you know, they don't know this side of me, the relationship coach side. They know the sports speaker side, you know, so dualities, y'all understand that. And so send it to inbox@tonygaskins.com. And today, and I posted this to the Blessed Tribe, but if you're not in the Blessed Tribe, for one, you're missing out. You see the button up under the video that say join, but I posted to the Blessed Tribe about the singles course. So I'm gonna put a little singles course together, just some content that's not on YouTube, just be in the course. Some of it will overlap, you will have heard it before, but some of it, it'll just that you could sit with it, and something that is in a course, and it'll be a different angle taken on it. It'll take you a little deeper. And I'm considering adding a 2-hour Q&A to do that on Zoom. I haven't decided yet. I said if you sign up for the course and you would be interested in being a part of the 2-hour Q&A, just email in or write me on social media and let me know. And then I'm gonna find a date for it. Everybody won't be able to make it, but I'll do it on a Saturday or something like that when people are not working. Some people work on the weekends though. So it won't work for everybody, so understand that you may miss the Q&A. It's not a part of the course, it'll just be a bonus, but at least you could go back to it and you can watch it. And if you can't make it, you can submit a question to the support email, and if I can get to it, I'll get to it on the Q&A. So hey, this is Tony Gaskin. That course, you can sign up for it on TonyGaskinAcademy.com. I may remember to put the link in the description, but if not, it's my name, TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. God bless y'all. We'll talk soon.